Hi everyone, welcome back to Happy Healthy Smiles. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're talking about another great subject, and it's a very common word you've heard is gingivitis. And did you know that some studies show as high as 80% of people have gingivitis? So we're going to be talking about what is gingivitis, what causes it, the risk factors, and of course how to reverse it. So let's get to it. So gingivitis comes from a Latin term, gingiva meaning gums, itis, I-T-I-S, meaning inflammation. So gingivitis literally means inflammation of the gums. It's a non-destructive, meaning you don't lose your bone yet. It's the early stages of periodontal disease. Gingivitis causes bad breath. It causes bleeding of the gums, causes your gums to become very puffy, inflamed. The gums change into like a dark pink color or a even purple color, and you'll notice bleeding when you brush or floss. And sometimes people don't notice that, but during cleaning, if majority of the areas are bleeding during cleaning, that's gingivitis. Now people say, oh, you're using sharp instruments. Trust me, those instruments are not causing bleeding. I have a lot of people, there's no bleeding when it's healthy gums. During cleaning, they will not bleed. Now, just remember, it's a reversible, so that's the best news. So we're going to be talking about that, how to reverse it. And also remember that there is very little discomfort when you have gingivitis. Some people don't even know they have gingivitis. And occasionally you might feel tenderness of the gums, but it doesn't last long. Now, what causes gingivitis? There's a couple of things. There's two types of gingivitis. One is the dental plaque induced gingivitis, and the second is non-dental plaque induced gingivitis. Today, I'm going to be speaking only about the type 1, the dental plaque induced gingivitis. And that's what causes gingivitis. It's a lot of plaque buildup, a lot of tartar buildup that's not being removed. Will cause your gums to become very inflamed, because that's an inflammation is caused by the trigger from all the bacteria, and your body responds by the gums becoming puffy and inflamed and bleeding. Now I'm going to show you a chart here. This is a picture of a healthy tooth. As you can see, this is a bone level. It's nice and good right up to the tooth. The gums are nice and firm around the tooth. They're not loose. And this probe measures only about 1 or 2 millimeters. So this is a picture of a healthy tooth and healthy gums. Now, when gingivitis starts, meaning there's a lot of plaque and tartar, this is what starts happening. Still, your bone level is fine, but your gums kind of pull away from the tooth a little bit because they're inflamed, they get puffy, they turn a bright red pink, and it'll start bleeding, especially during cleaning. So this is what I'm going to help you avoid. So what are the risk factors for gingivitis? There's a few of them actually, and one is poor nutrition or poor diet, meaning high sugar in your diet or high acidity in your diet, a lot of pop, a lot of juices, energy drinks, sweets, a lot of carbs or that are like donuts and breads. Sticky, sweet carbs definitely will play a role. Another huge risk factor is tobacco. Whether you smoke tobacco or chew tobacco, or if you're vaping, especially the flavored vaping, higher risk for gingivitis. Age also tends to play a role. One study showed 65 and older tend to have a bit more gum disease. Another risk factor is medications. Certain medications like Dilantin, which is an anti-seizure medication, can cause issues with your gums, or medications that cause a dry mouth that will promote more plaque, could lead to gingivitis. Medical conditions like diabetes, you might be more prone to gum issues. Socio-economic factors, like if you live below the poverty line, or if your education is below high school level. Studies show you're more high risk for gingivitis. Another big one is a poor oral hygiene, whether you don't brush enough or you don't brush well enough, or don't floss can contribute to gingivitis. And finally, a family history. Now, how to reverse it? First is, remember, don't forget to keep a very moist mouth, avoid dry mouth. Clean your tongue. I talked about a tongue scraper last time. So this is really important. A huge amount of plaque is on your tongue, and that can distribute around your gums and your teeth. So make sure you use a tongue scraper every night. Somehow clean the tongue, or use the back of your toothbrush. Some of the electric brushes have little areas here that you could use. Also make sure you are you having a healthy diet. Reduce sugar in your diet. Try to eliminate juices. Actually, juices are very, very unhealthy. Some have same amount of fructose and glucose as a pop drink. So avoid juices and limit them. Limit also energy drinks. Try to stick with water. And also avoid or limit cigarette products or tobacco products. Vaping, limit or reduce. Also make sure you brush really well. And one of the best things you can do is use one of your electric brushes. They tend to do a better job. And make sure you go around the gum line. So a lot of people miss around this area, especially in the back areas, and get rid of all the plaque around the gum line. The less time plaque sits around the gum line, the less chance it's going to cause inflammation. So that's key. And the other is floss. We talked about different kinds of flosses or products to use in between the teeth. This is a proxy brush to use if you have a lot of crowns or bridge work, or if you have braces. Proxy brushes are really great to use. In my video, I talked about plaque and tartar. So remember the difference between plaque and tartar. Make sure the plaque doesn't calcify, because once it becomes tartar, it's going to sit around your gums, cause inflammation and gingivitis. So do a really thorough job of removing the plaque. And also make sure you're on top of regular cleanings and checkups. Make sure there's no broken teeth or any cavities, and get a thorough cleaning at least minimum twice a year. That should all help. So you want to prevent the gingivitis going into the next stage, which is early periodontal disease, and that will cause permanent damage. It'll cause bone loss. That is not reversible. So if gingivitis is left untreated, you can have more severe issues, and if it gets into the early, moderate, or severe periodontal, you can even have a tooth loss. So that's why I always say get on top of it. Remember, you don't feel the issues from gingivitis. You won't know what's happening. So make sure when you go to the dental office, ask what the conditions of your gums are. Actually, you know what? I noticed no one actually asks. They just listen and then they just go home. So make sure you ask questions. What areas you can work on that are worse than others, or promoting gingivitis. So be a part of that solution and talk to your hygienist, your dental hygienist, or your dentist, and work as a team on how to get rid of gingivitis. I hope all these tips helped, and please hit like and subscribe. It really helps promote the channel, and leave a comment. I love comments. I love hearing from you guys. I've had great comments so far. People have been really wonderful, saying how much is helping them. I hope this really helps you, and hope to see you soon. Bye.